Hi there, it's Janice Thomson from JazzleDazzleCraft.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I live and work in Scotland. Bear with me. Today I am filming my tutorial for the floating accordion card, which is featuring in our May 2025 class in the post. Now, yeah, I'm going to film this in parts so that I can photograph each piece as we go. So I think I'll just quickly bring in the other pieces that you need in the card first. I had a plan and then I changed. And now I'm changing it back. That's how it goes here. Okay, so for one of these cards, in your kit you already have the pieces cut. I haven't done the die cutting for you, but I have cut the pieces. You're going to have to score and die cut, etc. So what you should have, in the kits you have enough to make 2 cards. So I'll just go through what we need. Oh, I'll do that. I'm mixing myself up here. So in the basic white, this is part A. I've called it A, B, C, D. So you need this piece, which is 12 inches, and I'm using the new Willow White card. It's not as thick as our thick white, but because this card's got so many layers on it, I think it's sturdy enough. So 12 inches by 5.5 inches. And then we will score that, but we'll just look at all the other bits first. And then you have another piece here, which is 4.5 inches across there and 5.5 inches. So this is going to join on here to give you the longer piece of card that we would really need, which would be 16 inches would be the ideal. But we don't have card that wide, so this is the way that we're overcoming that. Okay, and then you'll need, this is 2 pieces here, again of Willow White. This one, well actually this one is C, and it's 8.5 inches by 3.25, and this is D, which is 9 inches by 3.25, and they're going to be joined together to give us a 17-inch piece. There we go. So that's what's going. The other layers, we'll just quickly go through them and then put them aside. This layer is for the front of the card, and of course I've not got them in front of me, have I? So this piece is 3.75 of an inch by 5.25. It's 1/4 of an inch smaller than what becomes your card front. Then 4 pieces, which are 2.5 inches by 3. There's 4 of them. And then 2 pieces that are 2.75 of an inch by 3 inches. And that's the card layers. And then in your DSP, it's just so that you can make sense. You will have to cut your DSP. I suggest you don't do all of that until you've kind of made the card construction first, or the beginnings of it, till you've sorted out the white, and you'll have a better idea and think about what you need. So, yeah, so you've got 4 pieces that are 3.75 of an inch by 5.25. They're the same size as that front panel on the card. Now I've just got 2 that like that and 2 like that. You obviously decide what you're going to use. And then 1 for the front of your card, which again is 1/4 inch smaller than the layer. So this is 3.5 by 5 for the front of the card. And then again, like the panels, you've got 4 here that are 2 1/4 by 2 3/4, and you've got 2 that are 2 1/2 by 2 3/4. So they're the same height, but your middle 2 panels in the bit that floats through the card are wider than the panels at the edge, and you'll see that when we score. So just to give you a brief explanation of them. So that's, I've got all the GSP cut there just now. Let's get our scoring out and do the scoring. We'll start with the biggest panel. I'm trying to read my own instructions, and obviously I'll correct them as I go. So I think you'll be able to see that. So we want to put this in, and we actually just want to score this at 4 inches and 8 inches. So pop it in. You won't see all of this because I don't think I've got the camera set, but 4, and put that through to the 8 inches and 8. So on that 12-inch piece, what you've got here is 3 4-inch panels. And I seem to have a dirty finger mark on there, but I'm not going to worry about that because I will be covering it up. And then we'll take this panel. This is the extra panel to go on there. And I'm just going to score that at 1/2 inch, sorry. So this bit here is the tab that will join on there. So there you go, 4 inch. So that's the 1/2 inch, and that's the 4-inch part. I'm just wondering how straight that was. Sometimes I find it easier to... It's straight, it just didn't look straight. Right, that's that bit. And then let's just score these bits as well. So taking the shorter piece first, we want to score that at 2 3/8. So that's 1, 2, 3/8. Two and 3/8, and then 5 1/2. Now that does not look right to me. So I need to go back and check that out. So bear with me, I'm going to stop the video till I check that, because that just doesn't feel right. I've done something wrong there. And this one is 1, 2. I wonder if that was... I need to go and check that. See, this is a good way of checking measurements, right? Just bear with me. Okay, that measurement is 2 3/4, not 2 3/8. But your PDF will be updated for you anyway. So 2 3/4. I thought I don't remember doing 8s. What's happened there? So it's copied over incorrectly, pardon me. So 2 3/4. So that is... So these two panels are the same, that one and that one. So ignore my error. And you'll see when you fold that like that, this one is wider, and that is supposed to be wider. So right, so that's 2 3/4, 2 3/4, which add up to 5 1/2. So Right, and then this one, score at 2 3/4. Five and a half. And I think 8 1/4, no, 8 1/2, 8 1/2. Yep. So we've got this bit, and that panel's the same as that panel, see? So that one is going on there. I didn't mean to make that so complicated, but do check your PDF and it'll be right. So that is 2 3/4, 5 1/2. 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/2. And that's the scoring. No, just ignore my error. Okay, just to prove I'm human, I kind of do that every day, don't I? Right, so that is going to concertina like that, and then this piece here is going to go onto the back of there. And I just got my tape runner out. You can do this with wet glue or tape runner. It's a good 1/2 inch, so it's good enough. Just whatever you're comfortable with. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with either of any of these on today. Just make sure it's straight and you've joined them together and you cleared that the fold line still works. So if you fold it like that, I think I'll take a picture of that. So I'm going to stop and take a picture. I'm not I'll try and, I don't think I can steal a screenshot because my wee thing for screenshots doesn't seem to come up when I'm videoing. What's that bit for? No idea. Right, stop. Okay, I seem to have managed to get a picture of that. So let's now do the other bit. And then I can take a picture of it. Perhaps should have done this video in colour so that I could... it would show up better, but I think it'll show up well enough. So that, those scores, the 4, 8, you can make that into a Z, and we're going to add this on to make the whole thing into a W or an M. It could be, you know, it can go either, or it could be an M. Probably M for this card actually. So I need to score and burnish that one. And again, that's going to go like that to make your W. We'll stick it on and then I'll get a photograph. Let's see if I can successfully put tape around this. Missed a bit at the top, so we'll just add it on now. And now what we want to do is we want to stick this on, but we don't want that edge to stop the fold. I'm just gently putting that over the top, but not getting into the fold mechanism, and making sure it's straight. And there you go, that's your M, or indeed you could put it that way. That's the M shape that we're looking for. And again, I'm going to stop the video and take a picture. Okay, so we've now got our two shapes that we need. So what's going to happen now is we need to make a hole in these two panels so that this can pass through. So I intend to use, or the other card I made already, in my sample, I used this rectangle die from, I had it out so I could textured notes. Where's the other one? I really do make life difficult for myself, don't I? There it is. So I can tell you. This oval die from Impressions A Bloom will also work. So what your die needs to be big enough that this could pass through the middle with good clearance. So again, that one would work. If you check through your dies, you'll find something that would work. It needs a bit of clearance there. Now, I am going to attempt to cut this, and it might not work, because I did on the sample card, and you can do this, but it is a bit trickier. You would need nesting dies for this. Whoops. Oh, my ribbon's coming off my sample. Right, okay. So in this one, what we're needing to do, as you see, is there's your M shape and there's your floating accordion going through. But what I did on this one was I used a bigger die to cut the hole in the designer series paper, but that is quite tricky. You really need to be able to line it up and kind of be able to see where the middle is, and I think I got away with it. I cut both the designer series paper at the same time, and I cut the hole in the card at the same time. I'm going to attempt to do it all in one this time. It possibly won't work, so we'll see what happens. Failing all that, all you have to do is get yourself a simple rectangle that's taller than that and draw around it and cut it out with scissors. That's another possibility if you don't have dies. Anyway, let's just... This is kind of like a problem solving video. As I say, I just wanted to try it all out different ways so that you would know what works and what doesn't. So it's the middle two panels that we need the hole in. So I folded the whole thing in half like that. I'm going to now need to think about this. Yeah, so I'm going to be cutting the middle out, so it won't matter. I don't need the middle pieces, so I'm just pop that. Leaving a white border. Again, you don't need to if you wanted to have DSP cut to exact that size. That's okay too. I didn't open that out so I could see which way I'm going, because otherwise I'll have everything in different directions. Right, let's just... So I'm putting the tape around the four sides, just a little bit in from the edge of this. So as I said, I used the rectangle die on the last one. I'm going to try it this time with the oval die. I see it might not cut right through all four, and if it doesn't, well, I'll just go the other way. We'll deal with it as we go. So just let me get my machine. Because you won't see everything, but okay, so I might want to use tape just to stop it sliding. That wee piece here. Right, I'm just eyeballing that as well. See if it'll come back. I am asking quite a lot of the machine to stuck. I'm going to turn it that way, I think. So it hasn't cut right through. But what it has done is mark. Actually, that bit is more or less cut through. So I could, in fact, just slip the die over there. And just keep going. Can I just... So it went through 3 layers, but I was able to, oh, it's sliding on the desk and it doesn't like the straight bar. That's the problem. It's nearly there. There we go. I need to get new plates. Right, I better check that's lined up now because I can't imagine what you can still see. Oh dear me. Most of that's getting covered up, so we're not going to worry about it. Right, so that's us got our holes. Now I've done it that way, as I say, on the other one I did them separately, so it's up to yourself what way you do that. tape's moved a little. That's fine. Right. I really have to get plates because as you can see, new plates, because you can see that the imprint is coming off on my card. It's not the best look. Okay, so then we're ready to put designer series paper on this one. And we've got the other two pieces that fit here. And they go on there. So again, I'll just keep using the runner. Well, maybe not. It doesn't want. There we go. Piece on there. This paper's so beautiful, it all just seems to work together. So you just have to make the decisions about which which paper you're using and where. So that is the main part of the card there. We can decorate the front after. I just want to show you mostly how this all goes together. So the next job is sorting out your layers. So you've got, oops, your card, so two pieces that are bigger than the other two of the paper and two pieces that are bigger than the others in the card. So let's pop them together first because they are that wee bit different. Now it just so happened that those two have been cut from the pattern there and they match together. Now this doesn't have to be paper. This could in fact be your own stamping. It could be just white and stamp on it, or sentiments or photographs. There's lots of things you can do with this construction. Pop them on before we forget. So they're going on the middle panels. And then these four, what have I got? I don't know what I've got here. Okay, so these can go in there. Or you could have that paper. What's on the back of that? You've got loads of choices. What's on the back of that? Ah, yeah, might do that. Put these ones on the outside. and keep it where you might see it. And then we've got the two middle ones, and this time I think we'll use this pattern. I mean, the card might look too much with all the different floral patterns, but as I say, you can add white panels and do stamping, add photos, ephemera, anything. There we go, so we've got the panels now. So what's going to happen here is this threads through I want it that way, so we're just going to stick that. My folds are, and that I had folded it when I was sticking it down, so that's basically what you want. So I want these to be in the middle and coming through the hole, and that will be your card. So let's just do that. Let's just stick them down. I just turn it that way. And your tape, make sure that fold is that mistake score. Right, now what I need to do is that on the edge in the middle really. And then fold that one over through the hole, and then that one, and then that one, and then if we put our tape on here, you can use wet glue. I want to close this over. And then you have a floating accordion card. Easy as that. But as I say, you can use the panels, do the panels whatever way. Then, oh, goodness me. For the front of the card, it's a simple, this is a simple card once you know what you're doing. If you don't believe me, okay. That's the front panel, and all we're going to do is attach it to the front. So we've got and in your kit you will have a die cut here for your sentiment. So did I have my sentiments ready? No, but hey, we'll soon sort that. So I found a happy birthday. You'll just have to find a sentiment, but I found my happy birthday in Pattern of Friendship, which is a fabulous stamp set, which is on the online exclusives. It just so happens to fit that panel that I chose to use, so we'll just use it again. And since I've used Blackberry Bliss on this one as well, let's just use that. There we go. I must have had a bit of dust or something on my stamp, as you see that wee dot. But if you've got your Stamp Right marker, it's exactly the same ink, so you could just dot that on, and there's another wee bit that's not so good there, and that's it. Nobody will know. So you can just put that on with dimensionals, and that could be your card. You could add some embellishments, your jewels or whatever. I chose to put ribbon. So what I did was, when I was just to have a ribbon closure, so what I did was I used some edges. Where's my scissors? Right. Edges of the dimensionals. Sorry, my words are... I should have said right at the beginning of this video, I'm actually not very well at the moment. I'm a bit some problems. Of a tummy issues, because the polite way to put it, I think. I've been struggling a bit. Yeah, I'm really hopeful that I'm going to be teaching this class on the date it's supposed to be, but at least you'll have the video for the moment. If I'm just having a wee bit of a brighter spell today, so I thought, right, I've already filmed the other 2 cards for class. I'm doing that. So basically just put a strip top and bottom, and then what you can do is have your ribbon coming along. But what I'm going to do is just put that on first, and then I can thread the ribbon through. Because I've just put foam tape top and bottom in there, I've just smudged my ink. Great. It's just the best day ever. This lovely, lovely ribbon, and there you go, it's threaded through. And then if you just to finish your card off, we'll have to have embellishments now, don't we? You can just tie it there with a sideways bow. And there you go. That is, let's just hide that ink splodge. Sometimes they don't show up on the camera, but I think I'll just have it covered over, I think. So you can choose whatever you want to. And I think I'll just, although in the kit we've got these gorgeous in colour flat petals, I think I'm just going to use a couple of butterflies so I can distract from my ink splodge, and then it'll be fine. You use whatever you want. I mean, you use the things from the kit for these cards or not. It's up to yourself once you've got your kit. You might just want to swap out the paper and use this paper for something else. Oh, that one doesn't want... What's going on here? It's not... The putty's gone firm, I think. That's it. I'll have that one going there, and we'll have another little one there because there's more ink. that hadn't dried before I started. You do have to take a bit more time and let things dry but when you're filming. So that's that one. I did make my other one a bit taller, but I've decided to just stick with, it's American measurements I've used and they work in the inches, so I didn't see the point in changing it all. So I will cite the people that I haven't brought through the lady's name who I was inspired by, and also I have made a card like this before in a class with Joe Coogan, who I think he's called Chipboard Chappie on Facebook. But anyway, I will cite them both in the document before I print it all off, and I will put it in the description box below. So thank you so much for your patience. So there you have. That's how it is when it's flat, and that's how it is when it's open. I do appreciate your patience, and I do look forward to crafting with you. Hopefully I will be well enough to do that by then. Okay, thank you. Bye.